If you're like me and have been a fan of anime for a really long time, you know that the anime community is a different breed of horrible. And you know, there are certain terms that when they come into play within the anime community, it's nothing but problematic stuff behind it. And that term today is waifu. Now, waifu was defined by Urban Dictionary as a fictional female character that you want to marry or have sexual attraction to. Now, normally, there's nothing wrong with liking a character, thinking they're attractive, thinking they're cute. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it's cool.
I just want to touch you, tease you, you.
But when the entire basis of your attraction to that character is based off of their body shape, it becomes a problem when that character is a 14-year-old girl. Hey y'all, my name's Lena, and this is my channel. And today I'm going to be ranting about a topic that's been irritating me since she first showed up on the screen, Nezuko and her demon form, and why I really do not like it. I didn't like it when I saw it in the manga, because I read the Demon Slayer manga, and when that panel showed up, when she first transformed, I was very uncomfortable and taken aback every time I looked at her. And I just knew it was going to cause controversy and problems whenever it got animated.
The girls are fighting! No!
For anime onlys who've never seen it before, and they're either super weirdly attracted to her or justifyingly disgusted by it. But before we get into that, I wanted to just shout out my art behind this and, my Instagram page. It's the same name as my channel name, just so the underscore on it, I'll put it on the screen somewhere. Also, yeah, the intro. Roll the intro. Intro was fire, right? Yeah, I made that myself. I'm multi-talented in this bitch. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, or you're unaware of the situation, the anime Demon Slayer, also known as Kimetsu no Yaiba, recent episodes of it show one of the characters, who is canonically a 14-year-old girl, transforming into a very, very much mature-looking character. Her boobs get bigger. They obviously make her more shapely. Now, there'd be no issue with this, in my opinion, if the main focal point wasn't obviously her body. You can try to flip it any way you want, but we all know the main focal point of making her look that way is to over-sexualize her. It'd be different if the main focal point were the vine things on her body, or her horn, or any of that. But the main focal point that the creator of the fucking character and the manga put to the forefront were her boobs protruding out, her body being much more mature. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with a younger character or a younger person having more developed boobs or a more developed body. Shit. Me, myself, I'm a person that when I was younger, I didn't hit puberty before the other girls. I hit it after them, but due to my family genetics, we all have bigger breasts. So while I hit puberty after them, my boobs grew faster and bigger than the other girls, my other friends. This, that, and the third. Yada yada yada. But this is a clear difference between just realistically portraying that younger women can have bigger boobs and more shapely bodies, and just over sexualizing a character and making the main focal point of this appearance the boobs of an underage character. And I see a lot of people saying, oh, she actually got older, that's why her body changed. Okay, let's use that. Why didn't the rest of her change? If they were to depict her getting older or aging up, they could have depicted very much different things. They could have depicted her getting taller. She could have got more muscular. She could have got a more mature looking face. But instead, the only thing that they had change were her boobs getting bigger. And then the character design. They literally have this girl's titties damn near falling out of her kimono. And obviously, I'm not going after the animation studio for the way they animated it, because they just copied it from the source material, which was the manga, which is how it actually looked in the manga. The main focal point was this girl's body appearance. And to the argument, oh, she got bigger, she got mature, she grew up. Okay, so obviously, yes, if she's getting bigger, her kimono is going to get smaller on her body, because her body doesn't fit the kimono anymore. But why was the only place where a kimono got smaller were the areas where it looked like she was being sexualized? Her boobs, her leg, where I think her thighs were sticking out, very in a suggestive way. Why didn't they show it getting tight on her arms? Why didn't they show it tearing in the back if she was growing up? It's obviously just y'all just making up excuses for a weird thing being done in y'all favorite anime. And, of course, whenever you have situations like this, you have people always coming up with excuses and justifying it, and this, done, third. I mean, here are a few comments of people making up excuses and justifying or just saying straight up weird shit. They always bring out the whataboutism. What about this show? What about that show? What about this manga? What about this panel? What about this, that, and the third? When you bring out whataboutism, you're just grasping at straws at this point. And to me, I don't have a problem with, over-sexualization and fan service. It is done in the correct way. Like, there's certain animes where there's characters who are obviously just there for fan service. Like, that's still their only purpose for being there, fan service. Okay, that's the character. I don't fuck with that a lot, but it's character, so what? We gotta get over it. Then there are characters who, do have depth, but a lot of times when they're in the scene, or they'll get a scene, it'll be fan service, they titties protruding out, something weird that's overly sexual with the character happening. And then there are situations like this where it came out of fucking nowhere. Literally nowhere. Nowhere did they ever suggest that Nezuko ages up when she turns into demon forms. And I don't have a problem with fan service or over-sexualization of a character, as long as that character, one, it's just not some random shit they just decided to do like this, and two, most of the time when that character is of age, which is not very common for animes. A character that's over-sexualized and very fan servicey in Demon Slayer, Mitsuri, the fucking love Hashira. She's very over-sexualized, her teeth are always popping out, but think about her, she's grown. She's a grown female character, and that's always been her character. Her character design, her character appearance has always been her. With her boobs protruding out of her uniform, with her thick thighs protruding out of her uniform. Also, Mitsuri 21 years old, so, so I don't have a problem with it. They even touched on the subject. I don't know if they touched it in the anime yet. I can't remember if they did. But they definitely touched it on it in the manga, where Shinobu didn't like the uniforms they have for the women, so she fucking burned that shit, because she didn't want to have her whole body protruding out. So you have this already existing subject of over-sexualization within the actual show, and then you proceed to over-sexualize one of the youngest characters in the show. And there's a fine, very, very, obvious difference between character design and fan service. And this was 100% fan service. A good example of a character in this show who is very overly sexualized is Daki. But in her instance, her situation, it has depth to her story. It goes with her story. She's obsessed with looking perfect. She is obsessed with the idea of perfection, and she feels like the perfection is having a perfect body, a perfect looking face, this, that, and the third. It fits with her. That's why she's very over sexualized, and her body be protruding, her body, and she gives body. But it's normal for the character, because that goes with the character story. Where in this story does it have anything to do? Where in Nezuko's story does her boobs protruding? Where does that bring to her story? Why did her demon transformation need to include her boobs poking out of her kimono like that? I'm not saying you can't have that as the design, but when you're presenting the character, the obvious main focal point of said character transformation is the boobs. The first thing that people are going to look at when they see this transformation from head to toe is this girl's boobs poking out of her kimono. And this leads to a bigger issue with anime community and the whole waifu thing. Please show me how many people were loving on Nezuko, saying she's their waifu. They love her. This is their girlfriend. This is that. Before this transformation happened, she had Nezuko stands and Nezuko fans, but nowhere near the amount of people now saying that they love Nezuko because they only love her because of her appearance. You can all go at the appearance of a child, and then this feeds to the bigger issue of people calling waifus on child characters. And majority of the time, whenever someone calls waifu on a child character, or a character that has the appearance of a child, it's nothing to do with the character. It's always the appearance. They either love a character because they have the Instagram body, like the huge boobs and big butt type of body, or they love a character because that character just weirdly kind of looks like a child. Like, it's always that one character that's like 50 years old, but they look like a 12-year-old, and that's everybody's favorite waifu. But I'm not even gonna get into the topic right now of the weird, I'm not even gonna say the word, but it begins with the P and ends in an E and has a E-file type of sound to it. Members of the anime community, because there's way too many of them. But that was just kind of my rant. If you didn't like it, I really don't give a fuck. I don't care. You're not gonna change my opinion. I heavily dislike this whole Nezuko situation, this Nezuko appearance. I really don't like it at all. And it just gets worse down the line, to be honest, for a lot of characters, especially her. If you did like it, hit the subscribe button. Like the video. Comment your opinion. Comment if you like the appearance or not. I really don't. Like, I heavily dislike this appearance of her. So much. But that's gonna do it for this video. Also follow me on my Instagram, right here somewhere on the screen. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!